Hello, RPG fans. This is Marcus. So, 8 months ago, I did a video about Eldiron, my creator for classical RPGs. And at the time, I was working on a version which I thought would be very close to release. And at that time, I took a step back and I realized it, it was not really what I wanted to do. There were several shortcomings to it, which I did not like. The whole project started as a side project, like a creator for Ultima 4 kind of games, one of the games which I played a lot. And but as I worked on it, I realized I actually wanted more. I wanted to have 3D in it. I wanted to have, many of the choices I did back then were just wrong for the long term. And the first one is probably the user interface, which was more a hack, and I had a hard time uh, doing anything with it and making it more powerful. So scrapping the whole user interface was one of the first steps for me. And yeah, you see, this is now after 8 months of work. This is now the new version, which I just released. And you can see it's very modern and much more flexible user interface compared to the old version. And yeah, so one of the first reasons was the user interface to make that new. The second reason was for behavior of characters for the whole world. I used nodes in the first version, and nodes are great for easy, uh, yeah, for giving users an easy tool for doing things. But what is the problem is that nodes need a framework to work in, and the more easy to use nodes you have, the more you limit of what your characters can do in the game, because it's not really, you don't have a certain level of freedom anymore. And for me, I wanted to have more like a sandbox game system where people could do whatever they wanted with their characters. And this is then what I did in this new version is I have a new system here. It's like a code grid. It's code, but it's visual code. It means that you can just drag and drop code blocks, comments in, and work with that. And it's very powerful, but it's also at the same time very easy to see what is going on. Now, if I would start this small scene here, and I go to the blacksmith, and you will see him walking around here, and let's make it daylight a bit, and to see him walking around. But the advantage here is, for example, in this main function, which gets called every tick, you can see that the timer for his walking is just a pulse timer. That means it counts up to a certain amount. Here it's 4. It could also be a random number, and I just set it for 4 here for the demo. And so it counts up, and then when it reaches 4, it does a random walk. And the random walk is another node comment which is called. So this gets called, counts up to 4, it gets a random, gets the true return when it's at 4, and then it executes a random walk. So you can see that this is, on the one hand, very flexible, but on the other hand, it's very easy to see. You look at it at one go, and you know what's going on. And this is actually something which is a real advantage. Okay, another advantage of this system is that, stop it again before he walks away too much. I mean, that I wanted from the beginning, I wanted to have a system where it's 2D and 3D hand in hand. And so you can still use a tile map, create tiles, in the map. Like here, you have your create an animation, you have a preview, you give some text to the tile, you describe what kind of tile it is with make it more sortable. You define if it's blocking or not, and then you add the tile to the project, and then you can draw with it. Then you see all your tiles you defined here. So you can just paint with your tiles. Like, let's do it. You start the game. And one advantage is that with the new version, you can actually paint while the game is running. This has the advantage that you can actually play the game while you create it, or you create the game while you play it, meaning that it doesn't matter if the game is stopped or not. You change stuff, you can you can draw tiles, you can do whatever you want, and the game updates automatically. Now the character has nowhere to go, it's just stuck there, and you find it and goes again. So it's interactive, and this is a big plus, because if you have very complex scenes, very complex behavior of characters, then you also want to, be able to change things on the fly without having to start the game all the time again and start from scratch. So, I mean, there are lots of new things, like you have special effects, for example. When I go over here, you see me in the mirror. The mirror is a special effect. This is all in 2D, of course. You can open the gate and light floods out. This is a special effect. The light source is an effect. So you can draw with effects on your tile map. But this is all for 2D. Now, what is from the beginning, I wanted to have 3D as well. And 3D is actually, when you see this side of the map, this is like just the 2D projected into 3D. This is just like the old style Wolfenstein kind of projection, where you just take a 2D cube, 2D tile, make it a cube, and then you work with it. On the other hand, here, the left side, this is a model. This is a node-based model to create 3D tiles. And this is what you see here: the grass, the floor. So this is what I'm working on the 3D side, is to be able to model 3D content and use it inside your scenes. And it's a node-based modeling system, and it's actually pretty powerful. Of course, it's not yet fully featured as I'm working on it, but you can already do a lot of stuff with it. Then you see here on the 3D side, also the thing goes up and down. It's the same thing as in 2D. Yeah, I mean, so to make a small summary, this is a new version of Eldiron, and from now on, I will make videos like weekly about my progress working on it, about the tutorials, because it's already kind of a complex piece of software. And I think it's easy to use, but I'm the creator, so I will do tutorials now weekly. I will do overviews for every new version, what is new, what I'm working on. And yeah, I hope you join me on the journey to create a very cool RPG creator. I mean, I love the Ultima kind of games and the RPGs in the 90s in general. I'm just want to create a really nice piece of software which captures that spirit, but with modern technology, like this server kind of support, or then multiplayer support, with solo games, of course, with the possibility to do whatever you want to do in the worlds you create, and then of course also ship them to or deploy them to all possible platforms. Eldiron is completely cross-platform and it's available from Linux, Mac, the creator for Linux, Mac, and Windows. But the clients will run everywhere. I mean, it's really portable. Yeah, if you like the mission I'm on with Eldiron, please like and subscribe. It really helps me with the recognition inside YouTube. And I also have a Patreon for the people who are want to support me this way too. Very appreciated. And yeah, talk to you in the next video.